Hello, people of the Imperium, and welcome back. Now, as you can already tell, I am going to be doing some Warhammer. In particular, I am going to be working a little bit on my Geanstealers. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is in every box, they do include the stand. This stand is for my Trigon. So that's my Trigon. Stand here. Occasionally, you'll get stands like these. I can actually open this up. And please be careful with your hobby knife. You'll get stands like this. Let me just grab one of my Geanstealers that we'll be working on a little bit today. And they literally just slot right in. Or at least they should, in theory, just slot right in. There we go. So that's another semi-common. Like you'll see them in the older kits or in stuff like this. I bet you can see here because he was just a pagan socket joint guy. Or probably the most common is this one. Now Warhammer's weird because they work in millimeter, so I think this is the 90. Whatever it is. They usually come with a base. Now if you don't like this kind of flat base, they do have some other bases, very small amounts. Or else you can also look online and find the resin kind, which I have none here. Usually the resin kind have a little bit more details or something, or some of them even are plastic, so all depends. Now as you see, I've already started. Don't need those scissors right now. I've already started. I've cut out all of them. Well, I haven't cut out every piece yet. Usually when you first cut out a piece, this is part of my Trigon. You'll end up with nubs like this. Try not to do it like I'm going to do it right now. Try and always to cut away from yourself. But I just cannot seem to do that, so just slowly going to take off chunks until you get it flat pretty well. So you don't want to just go like this and then have to saw your piece. So that's how you get marks and stuff. I usually get rid of all that white stress mark with just my thumb. There we go. So it started out with something like this. We ended up with a nice flat piece. Always be careful where your knife is. You don't want to be going like this. Notice how far away I'm being, because I know that this blade is sharp, really sharp still. It's still fairly new. Even though I've done a whole bunch of stuff with it, I know it's very sharp still. Always respect the blade. So as you can see, even the size differences in the creatures here. This is about a third, if that even a fourth, of the total size. But yeah, this is only a half piece. There will be another piece. I want to keep them in half pieces because I want to get on the inside. Sorry, it is really smoky where I am right now because of all the fires nearby. So if I'm coughing, that is why. And it is not fun. And another thing I always recommend is to have some kind of music going or something like that. Like right now I have my headphones on, listening to some music on my iPad. So jeez. So yeah. And always look at them all first. My goodness. So, I can feel another cough coming on. Nope, look at it. There it is. I look at all the pieces. Always look for miscasts and stuff like that. They are rare, but they do happen. You know what? I'll be right back after I grab a drink of water here, because the smoke is killing me right now. Oh wait, I'm back. I do have water off to the side now. But also it's important to stay hydrated, so. So. So I've already gone through and done that first step on all the pieces using the Citadel ones, because I didn't know this, but they are slightly offset. The blades, they're supposed to be slightly offset because that prevents the pieces from flying off into the distance, never to be seen again. It is always important to be comfortable as well. So sometimes you can be doing this for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Not even realize it. So I've already gone through and taken off the mold lines using my mold line remover here from Citadel. Best product. One of the best things I've ever gotten. I would recommend everybody, even if you don't do Warhammer, to get one. That is how good they are. I use them for my other projects, which are the Gundams. Go check out my beginner guide for the Gundams. I go through every single comparison from the smallest to the absolute biggest. Not quite the absolute biggest, because there is a 1-to-1 scale of the one that I did in that one right now in Japan. That I would do almost anything to go see. My goodness. Just seeing if it's hiding in between a couple of tools. I'll find it later. But with the heads, there is a line right in the center of their heads that you kind of just have to follow. This is where this one comes in. Hold it at about 45-degree angle. Just gently start scraping it away until you can no longer feel it. And be in an area where you can make a little bit of a mess. As you can see already by my fingers here, there will be shavings. Don't forget about the bottom. Now, let's bring out one of the legs here. So that's pretty well how the basic way of of that line removal is. Did I grab the one leg that I did? I totally did. Let's grab this one here. So again, there is that line, because in how they make them is to basically put two heavy cast metal pieces together and just inject plastic into that. And do whatever other sorcery that they do. But you can see this can only go so far. Before I really feel it start chattering. You can almost see there's little lines right in that knee joint there. That's when I reach for this knife. And it's the exact same idea. Only you're using a knife instead of a... 1 second here. Okay. So the knife kind of gets into all those different areas where you can't really get on your own. So you continue that until you get the leg completely clean. Like that mold line removed all around. And you can do that exact same thing with every single leg. That one's already done. Oh, that one's not done. And the reason why you want to do that is because when you put the model together and start painting it, you don't want a little ridge. You want it to be smooth. You want it to be organic. You want it to just not look like it's come out of a model cast of anything. And yes, that even includes you Necron players. You guys need to do this as well. In order to get rid of some of that brushes, that shavings and stuff, this is just a makeup brush that you can get from Walmart in a set of 5 or so for cheap. So use that to dust it off. Now this is where we bring in the cement. What I have is the Tamiya extra thin cement. I have this one as well. This one is so old and it looks disgusting. And it doesn't work that well anymore. It's at least 10 years old or something like that. It's old. Oh, and another modeling tool that I completely forgot about. A pencil. Any kind of pencil works. Because you can always draw on plastic. See? And because you're going to be painting over it, or in this case, If it's on the inside, you can just rub it off. Or you can just leave it. When you top coat it, it disappears. So these guys all have a set leg for them. I actually believe I grabbed the right one already. Always dry fit. I don't think that leg is quite it. Excuse me. Holy cow, that's from the water. So this one looks like it. So you can see it looks natural. Doesn't look overly done or anything like that. So I'm happy with these two going together now. Now, one thing I do recommend. It's a weird thing, I know. But just score up the inside, the places where you're going to put glue. Just adds a little bit more surface area to that piece. So then the glue has more to bite into. And I mean, you're going to be covering it up with the paint and all that kind of stuff, so. And this way you get a better bond as well. Especially for when we put the head on. Just going to try every head here really quickly. Okay, so seems like there's always just that little bit of a gap. So this is one of those things that if you work with glue too long, you can start getting a headache. So always work in a well ventilated area. Not like me, that's in the basement with no opening windows. I do have a fan, but I don't have it in the room with me right now, as I probably should. So remember, what this does is it melts the plastic slightly and causes it to fuse together. So I'm just holding it on. I put it on both sides. And there we go. So now I will actually leave that for a little bit to dry, because you don't want to poke at it. You don't want to bump it by accident. Just leave it for a little bit here. I'll bring you guys back once time has passed, and I will put the head on. So I'll be right back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I decided I can let you guys hear about this song. And it is copyright free because this is my song. All that I used is the GarageBand app. So, let's grab this guy again. Now, especially seeing as though, you know what, let's just put him right on the stand right now. As you can see, it's already pretty stable. And one other thing I recommend having nearby at least is your codex and instruction manual, wherever that is. Where's my instruction manual? I see it. Or at least I think I see it. Yeah, I found it. Really, it says to glue that? Well, I have extra thin cement. Go me. Literally what I can do, even though it says to do this afterwards, is because I just felt like doing it then. So I can literally just take some of this stuff, just go over the crack. Oh, and no matter how good you think you sealed it, there's always a tiny little crack. There we go. If a little bit of that plastic melts, it's going to be completely fine. Okay. So we're putting it on from a flat area onto a flat area. It's really important to just ensure that we get that good adhesion to score it up. And look, that base is already secure. Just making sure you have a lot of surface area for the glue to go into. I'm trying to be a little bit careful, but not too careful. because I'm going to be priming this. That leg. You gotta. This is hilarious. I just realized we're building this one right here. Oh, you guys probably can't really see all that well. There we go. So I'm just going to take my glue. You can see it's soaking all in there, all nice and beautifully. Just taking my glue and going all over in here. Waiting a couple seconds. So then that way the glue gets really nice and good. And it's already glued on. Now, while we let that sit for a bit here, you'll do that for all of them. I've just cut out 4 of them so far. But now it's time to talk about options. Because within these guys, you could technically magnetize them by like little tiny magnets. What I'm going to be doing is half of them in with the rending claws and scything talons, and half of them with just rending claws. So now there is, if you're playing the tabletop game, like I possibly am, that's when you gotta flip to the back. Or look in your codex. Because most of the new, especially the new ones that are coming out right now, one second here, once I got past all the Trigon stuff, there we go, the Geanstealers. So this is what we're building right now. There is a little bit of a difference between, so there's the flesh hooks, acid maw, rending claws, and scything talons, which all have a different use. Like if you want to go for a more shooty one, you still go with the flesh hooks, which is the one that I lost that head. But anyways, the acid maw, which looks pretty weird, I have to say. I think it's either this or it's this guy with the dangly thing. This guy down here. But you can see, based on your choice here, you can either completely represent it, or else you can go like, okay, is it okay if I have all of my guys with, I'm just going to say all my guys have rending claws, even though some of them have sliding talons, we'll just go with all of them as rending claws. So most 99% of the time it'll be fine. But if you go with rending claws, you have an AP of -1, and if you get a 6 on any of your wound rolls, it becomes an AP of -4. Now I'm going based on that you guys should have an idea, or at least read a little bit of the codex, which is all, this is all in there as well. So don't be afraid to look at your codexes. Don't be afraid to have them open. Don't be afraid to read all the fluff. I've read all the fluff of the rule book, the big rule book, and that I have on digital copy of it that I need to read the rules for, even though I know most of the rules already. It's just good to know the little details. But that's pretty well where it has you build up to. So I will build everyone up to, well, here I'll show you the arms. Which ones do I want to do on this one? Sorry, me just trying to think for a moment here. Hold on, I don't have all the runners. That might be why. There we go. I think I will make these guys have these claws here. Yes. Yes, that's what we're going to do. So right now it's I'm basically just going to do the process. Where's my Citadel? There it is. I like to use Citadel products for Citadel stuff. Or Games Workshop. Now you can see I cut away from the part. I know on Warhammer TV they tell you to cut right next to the part. Don't do that. That really makes me cringe when they say that. Because you have... Basically what's happening is that it's not actually cutting. It's more squishing the plastic out of the way. So what that can cause is, if you're right up next to the piece, it can cause a pit there from the plastic being bent out here. And there's no way to really repair that easily without getting filler. Speaking of that, I did get some. See, it's just like a tube of toothpaste almost. Only, let me just... Ooh, it's lacquer. Ooh, it's lacquer based. Okay. Holy cow! Oh my gosh! I'm just reading these warnings here. Inhalation of vapors may cause central nervous system effects characterized by nausea, headache, dizziness, unconsciousness, and under conditions of overexposure, even death. My gosh, Tamia, what are you freaking doing to us? Freaking heck, man. That is a little bit on the what the heck scale. Computer, be quiet. I don't need to know about Zap. Sorry, I got really distracted really easily. So I'll bring you guys back once I get these parts all cleaned up here and everything. So be back in a couple minutes. You guys, I just found a miscast. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see it. But that claw is supposed to be solid, like this side. It's not. It has a quick in it, so be careful not to clip the quick. Okay, so as you can see here, I have put together 4 out of the 8 of them. It's going to be 8 total. Just to give you guys a little comparison. Well, let me turn on this slide as well, so then you guys can actually see a little bit better. That's a Space Marine here, or in the ultramarine colors and stuff. So you can kind of see that these guys are similar in size, whereas the Brood Lord here is absolutely massive compared to them. And what I've also done is I've also Make sure that each arm has a pair on either side. So basically, all that we will do is that there's holes on the sides here. So looking at my broodlord here, I can tell that these longer arms are going to be in front. The front hole, kind of like that there. Then the back ones kind of go like this. You kind of just want to look. This is where dry fitting comes into is really important. Kind of like that, actually. So what I will do, I will ensure that everything is the same on both sides. So this is what it's going to be on the model itself. Now, because of his uniqueness, I'm also going to put a little carapace on him. So this will for some reason it says it's supposed to go way up at the top there, when really they fit in a lot better down here. So you can see on either side here. So that's what I'm thinking for this guy. So, especially here, you want to really notch up this ball joint here. Because basically this needs to come in like that, or however it goes. You can angle it in, you can angle it out a little bit. So you have freedom to move with this part. So this is more where the customization comes in a little bit, making your army unique in your own way. I'm just going up the inside of the other joint right now. And we're going to glue it in, just as we've done about 1,000 times already. Make sure there's some glue in there. Some glue on the piece itself, because that's important. Then we're just going to kind of try and find the angle that we want it at and hold it there. Just let the glue do all the work. There we go. Then we would do the same for this arm here. I'm just going to try one thing here. But I like these arms a lot better. I like this arm a ton better. So I'm just going to make sure that they're the same angle. There we go. So see, that's why you're constantly just looking at it, like thinking about what you want to do, all that stuff. Want to be just constantly thinking. I want to score up. That one there. Now, and the time that I took to decide about that, this arm is pretty solid. So, again, a little bit of glue on the inside there. A little bit of glue on the joint right here. Just the usual. And then we just gotta find the angle that we want. Hold it. And there we go. So seeing as though we're done this side's arms, we're going to be putting the carapace on, or the carapace. Now they've already created a whole bunch of notches in here, but I want to still score it. Surface area never hurts. Now I'm going to put a bit more glue than I have been on this piece here, just because I did not want to glue on I don't want to put glue onto that piece there. So there we go. Now I will repeat that exact same process over these last 4 of them, and then I'll repeat that whole process again with the other 4 that I have, because it does come with 8 in total. This is the Start Collecting box set that I have. So I'm going to do this all again here. Do everything. And then in the next episode, what we will start with is priming these guys. Because before you paint, you always want to prime. It'll cover up any little gashes or anything like that that you created by doing your notching. And also it'll give a nice kind of pre-shade almost, I'd say, for areas that you don't paint all that well, which really works out well. So that is it for this episode. So don't forget to, if you're new here and you've liked what you've seen, hit that subscribe button. And if you aren't new here and you're one of the veterans, hit that like button. That lets me know to continue on with what I'm doing here. And until next time, remember to rock on.